You've seen the headlines. Companies announce record AI investments one quarter, then massive layoffs the next. In 2023 alone, over 260,000 tech workers were laid off globally. Meanwhile, venture capital poured $91 billion into AI startups. This isn't a contradiction, it's the new playbook. But here's what most people miss. These aren't random decisions made in isolation. They're part of a coordinated strategy to maximize shareholder value in the short term while positioning for long-term dominance. Tech executives openly admit AI will replace certain job categories. What they don't openly admit is that they're using layoffs as cover for a massive operational restructuring. The layoffs get blamed on AI, which makes the technology seem inevitable and unstoppable. It's brilliant marketing disguised as business necessity. The real story is more nuanced and far more interesting. It's not about whether AI can do the work, it's about whether companies can convince investors and the public that replacing human workers with AI is the only logical path forward. Companies operate under relentless pressure to improve efficiency metrics. Wall Street doesn't care about your long-term vision, it cares about quarterly earnings per share. The math is seductive. One AI system costs $50,000 up front, requires maybe $5,000 annually in maintenance, and operates without salary, benefits, or legal liability. One human employee costs $80,000 per year minimum, plus 30% in benefits, plus management overhead, plus legal exposure. If you can replace 4 employees with one AI system, the spreadsheet screams yes. But here's the trap nobody talks about. Efficiency gains only matter if the work quality stays constant or improves. What companies are discovering is that AI handles certain tasks brilliantly while creating new problems in others. Customer satisfaction often drops when you replace experienced workers with AI chatbots. Creativity suffers, nuanced decision-making gets worse. But by the time these problems surface, the layoff announcements are already made and the stock prices jumped. The executives get their bonuses, the board gets their dividend, and the company is locked into a system that's optimized for cost-cutting rather than value creation. It's a short-term win that often becomes a long-term liability. Here's what companies won't tell you. Most workers being laid off don't have skills that transfer to AI-related jobs. A content moderator at Meta can't suddenly become a machine learning engineer. A customer service representative at Amazon can't pivot to prompt engineering without significant retraining. This creates a false impression that AI is replacing workers who can then find other tech jobs. The reality is darker. These workers are competing for fewer positions in their field while simultaneously competing with thousands of other displaced workers. Meanwhile, companies claim they can't find enough people with AI skills to fill their new positions. Both statements are true. They're laying off thousands while struggling to hire hundreds of specialized AI roles. The gap is intentional. Companies know that retraining programs are expensive. They know that hiring from within is more expensive than hiring fresh graduates at lower salaries. They know that displacing experienced workers creates a supply of desperate talent willing to accept lower pay. So they lay off the experienced people, bring in cheaper junior talent, and keep the efficiency gains. The skills mismatch isn't a problem to solve. It's a feature that depresses wages across the entire industry. And it happens so gradually that nobody connects the dots until millions of workers have already been displaced. Investors demand growth, not stability, not sustainability, not long-term excellence, growth. Every quarter, companies must show growth or their stock price gets hammered. Growth comes from either increasing revenue or cutting costs. Increasing revenue is hard and requires time. Cutting costs is easy and produces immediate results. When a company announces a 10% workforce reduction, investors interpret this as operational efficiency. Stock price goes up, CEO gets bonus, board members feel smart, and the company has bought itself another quarter of favorable investor perception. But here's what makes this particularly perverse. As more companies pursue this strategy simultaneously, they create what economists call a coordination problem. Every company knows this strategy is ultimately unsustainable. Layoffs damage institutional knowledge, they hurt employee morale, they slow innovation. But if one company stops while competitors continue, that company loses the short-term efficiency advantage and its stock price suffers. So everyone continues the same strategy, even though everyone knows it's destructive. It's a game of chicken where the loser is the entire economy. AI becomes the convenient justification. It's not that we're ruthlessly cutting costs to satisfy shareholders, it's that we're adopting inevitable technological progress. The rhetoric makes the destruction feel unavoidable. That's what makes it so effective. Here's something crucial that rarely gets discussed. AI systems require massive amounts of training data to work effectively. Where does that data come from? Increasingly from the workers being laid off. Companies are training AI systems on years of work product generated by employees who are then fired. A lawyer's legal research gets used to train an AI legal assistant. A customer service representative's interactions get used to train a chatbot. A coder's repositories get used to train a coding assistant. The employees create the data, the company owns the data, the AI is trained on the data, the employees are laid off, the company now owns an AI system trained on years of work without compensating the people who generated the training material. This is a massive wealth transfer that nobody talks about. Employees invested decades of skill development and work product into building corporate assets. Those assets now power the AI systems that replace them. Legally, companies are in the clear because employment agreements typically transfer intellectual property rights. But morally and practically, it's an extraction. The AI systems that replace workers are built from the blueprints those workers created. This creates perverse incentives. Companies that hire workers, extract their knowledge and work product, and then lay them off as they deploy AI systems trained on that data are literally stealing value from employees. And because everyone's doing it, it becomes normalized. Individual workers can't organize against it because they're already laid off. It's a structural advantage that only becomes visible in hindsight. Deploy AI, fire workers, watch efficiency metrics improve, watch quality metrics decline, repeat. This is the pattern we're seeing across multiple industries. Customer service quality at major companies has visibly degraded as companies replaced human agents with AI chatbots. Technical support now bounces you through 7 levels of automated systems before you might talk to a human. Content moderation on social platforms has become simultaneously more aggressive and less accurate. Healthcare scheduling has become a nightmare of automated systems that can't handle anything unusual. The efficiency gains are real, the quality losses are also real. But investors don't care about quality metrics the same way they care about cost metrics. Cost metrics are immediately quantifiable, profit margins improve, stock price goes up. Quality metrics are soft, customer satisfaction surveys take time. Churn metrics lag behind layoff decisions. By the time quality issues become severe enough to hurt revenue, the executives responsible have already taken their bonuses and moved on. The incoming leadership team inherits a deteriorated organization and struggles to explain why customer retention is declining. They pursue more cost-cutting, which further degrades quality, creating a downward spiral. Companies that cut their way to efficiency often cut themselves into irrelevance. The AI layoff paradox doesn't produce innovation or improvement. It produces short-term stock gains followed by long-term organizational decline, and by then, everyone's moved on to the next company. Successful AI deployment isn't about maximum replacement of workers, it's about maximum augmentation of workers. The companies doing this right aren't firing their workforce, they're expanding it with AI tools. They're using AI to eliminate tedious work so humans can focus on higher value tasks. They're using AI to handle scale that would require hiring exponentially more people. They're creating new job categories while automating lower value work. These companies see slower cost savings in the short term but much better long-term outcomes. Their employee retention is higher, their innovation velocity is higher, their customer satisfaction is higher. But here's the catch: this approach doesn't produce the dramatic efficiency gains that satisfy quarterly earnings calls. It doesn't give executives the huge bonuses that come with major cost reduction announcements. It requires patience and long-term thinking that Wall Street actively penalizes. So the companies doing AI correctly are typically either private, family-owned, or led by executives confident enough to disappoint investors short-term for long-term gains. Those companies are exceptions. The norm is the layoff-first approach because it produces immediate, quantifiable results that investors understand and reward. The market is optimizing for the wrong metric, and the consequences will become apparent as the companies pursuing cost-cutting strategies discover they've eliminated the institutional knowledge, talent, and culture required to actually execute their long-term vision. If you work in knowledge work, this matters. If you're in customer service, content moderation, basic coding, data analysis, or routine professional services, you're in the crosshairs. Not because AI can replace you tomorrow, it probably can't yet, but because companies believe it can, and belief drives policy. That belief will shape hiring decisions, training opportunities, and investment in your development. You're increasingly competing with AI not just for your current job, but for investment in your skills. Companies won't spend money training workers they plan to replace with AI. They'll spend money developing AI and preparing the infrastructure for AI deployment. This creates a trap. The longer you stay in your current role without developing new skills, the more vulnerable you become. But the companies you work for are also investing in AI training for current employees at lower rates than they should. The smart move is self-directed skill development toward areas where AI augmentation creates new opportunities rather than direct replacement. Focus on roles that require judgment, creativity, strategic thinking, and human connection. Develop skills in AI implementation and human-AI collaboration. Understand how AI systems work so you can work effectively alongside them. The AI layoff paradox isn't mysterious once you understand the incentive structure. Companies will continue hiring AI while firing workers because the incentives reward that behavior in the short term. Your job is to position yourself in roles and organizations where AI augments rather than replaces, and to develop the meta skills required to work effectively in an AI-augmented world. That's not reassuring advice, but it's honest advice.